Frank Tasker and his theories on pigeon throat structure. Frank Tasker, 1918 to 2007, was one of the most influential and successful pigeon racers and breeders in the history of the sport. Based in Yorkshire, England, he demonstrated an exceptional ability to breed and fly champion racing pigeons over several decades. A key part of Tasker's breeding program and selection criteria focused on evaluating the structure of a pigeon's throat. He placed great emphasis on the shape, features, and appearance of the fleshy curtain at the back of the mouth, known as the throat curtain. Tasker popularized a theory that the characteristics of a pigeon's throat curtain were directly linked to the bird's respiratory capacity and potential racing performance. He believed he could discern a pigeon's stamina, endurance, and suitability for breeding future champions by carefully analyzing the throat. According to Tasker's principles, the ideal throat exhibited a thin, pencil-lined vertical strip of flesh down the middle, with symmetrical left and right sides to the curtain. If the central line was too wide or distorted, the bird would be limited aerobically. Based on these tenets, Tasker instituted a throat grading system that scored pigeons on a 10-point scale. In his view, the perfect throat would score a 10. He considered this the most important selection factor for breeding cocks, going as far as saying he would rather breed from a pigeon with an ideal throat and poor body conformation than the reverse. When selecting hens, Tasker was slightly more flexible, but still aimed for a combined throat score of around 17 points for a breeding pair. Tasker's throat theory gained widespread adoption among pigeon experts, especially in Britain where he resided. His opinions on the subject were outlined in his book Tasker on Racing Pigeons, which became a seminal guide for the sport. However, the theory was also met with skepticism by some, who felt more scientific evidence was needed to substantiate the claims rather than just Tasker's personal observations and race results. Critics argued that while throat structure was worth examining, it should be just one factor among many used to evaluate birds. A key aspect of Tasker's throat analysis was looking for horizontal fret marks across the throat curtain. He postulated that these lines indicated stress and damage from racing and could diminish a pigeon's potential. Birds showing such marks after the annual molt following a racing season should be retired from breeding in Tasker's view. At minimum, they were no longer suitable for competitive racing. Only pigeons with pristine, unmarked throats should be selected. Tasker also emphasized that throat structure alone meant little without considering the pigeon's overall conformation, body shape, feather quality, wing profile, and more. The throat was not a shortcut, but a vital complementary judging criteria in his holistic breeding program. Timing was also paramount. The throat should only be graded during the November molt for birds at least 6 months old. Younger birds were still developing and stress could temporarily distort the throat, so accurate assessment was impossible. Although controversial, the throat theory popularized by Tasker took hold and shaped pigeon breeding, racing, and selection methods from the mid-20th century through today. Contemporary champions still often feature the thin vertical throat line associated with maximal potential by Tasker. For many devotees, Tasker's line remains synonymous with the ideal. However, sporting regulations have restricted the degree to which pigeons can be handled and throats manipulated, limiting very close inspections. Recent advances such as endoscopy to evaluate the entire tracheal structure have also challenged the notion that the fleshy throat curtain alone is indicative of deeper respiratory function. But among traditionalists, careful visual throat analysis persists as a critical breeding selection technique passed down from Tasker's work. Modern pigeon throat diagrams still emphasize the short, pencil-like line running vertically down a symmetrical curtain. While the validity of Frank Tasker's throat theory continues to be debated, his enormous influence on the pigeon breeding world cannot be denied. For better or worse, the pursuit of the perfect 10-point Tasker throat became an obsession for many after his principles took hold. The throat theory guided breeding decisions for countless pigeon champions, even if a conclusive scientific link between throat curtain structure and performance remains elusive. Tasker's simple grading system focused the eyes of pigeon judges on a characteristic that previously received little attention. Whether revolutionary or overvalued, Tasker's line left an indelible mark on the racing pigeon sport. There are many reasons to buy my racing pigeon method. Here are some of the best reasons. You will get excellent results. It's a very simple system to use. It's affordable. I have had over 400 first prize winners. It's adaptable to any situation. You can use it with any racing method, natural, widowhood, young birds. It's a very effective method. There is no need to spend a lot of money on fancy pigeon products. It's a reliable system and it is foolproof to use. Professional athletes, race horses, take the same products. There is science behind this, not just hearsay. It is all to do with red blood cells and oxygen in the blood. Without that, a pigeon will not race well. or an athlete will not win a race if he has low oxygen in his blood. The above is fact and is 100% science. There are a few things you can do to improve your chances of winning at racing pigeons. One of the most important things is to learn as much as you can about the sport. You'll need to know the different types of pigeons, how to train them, and how to race them. Another key factor is practice. You'll need to be able to fly your pigeons competently in order to win races. And, of course, you'll need to have the funds to invest in racing pigeons and other racing equipment.